Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Chant A Psalm A. We are here on Tuesday, and I give thanks that we're here because I am still recovering from my East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to East Coast trip. And I got the time incorrect yesterday and missed my class. So that's what happened. That's what's happening to me. Um, so I am gonna get up early. Early. It's like 5:30. My clock was my time on my laptop was incorrect. So I was behind thinking it was a certain time when it wasn't, and I missed my class. But I'm here. And I was doing my psalm at the time anyway, when I was supposed to be in class. So yep, I'm exhausted. Um Exhausted, tired, and still up. I got up early working and getting, reports done, and doing a iMovie of the trip, and just so many things. So, that has been in itself um real hard, because I have to do all that. So in that, I'm going to start off with, blessed that my words and my meditation are acceptable in the sight of what is right, what is good, what is kind, what is merciful, because um I'm asking for so much strength right now, because I am so much in need of it. Because there's so much that I'm doing and so much that has happened, and missing my class yesterday. I'm sitting in my office and my class is in the class waiting for me, and I'm in my office because I'm on a different time. I'm on a different time. So it's a sign for me to pace myself and take it steps at a time. So we're gonna get started, because I looked at the psalm today, and it's Psalm 80, and Psalm 80 is about restoration, and I surely need that right now. Restoring, as you can see, I'm sleepy, tired. So restoration, and this so this psalm today, 80, is about restoration and restoring us. It's testimonies of people being restored. We see Joseph, Ephraim, Benjamin, Manasseh. These individuals were restored. So let me. People just come on here, and I have to put them in timeout like little babies. Greetings and welcome to Chant A Psalm A. Thank you for joining. This is a live chanting of the psalm, looking at the words in liberation, and looking at God, Lord, and Jesus as righteousness, mercy, love, kindness, obedience, long suffering, forgiveness, compassion, kindness, and all the things that are good and kind. That's the place and the space of this psalm. So thanks for joining Chant A Psalm A. So Psalm 80 is about restoring, restoring, and I look at it as righteousness restores righteousness, so it's that that goodness of God that is righteousness. So, and that righteousness comes with mercy, kindness, and all of the attributes that are representative of love. So let me get so we see in greetings and welcome to Chant A Psalm A. Do like this video. So here we go. I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is righteousness, goodness, and mercy and love. This is roasted dandelion roots, really good, with a squeeze of lemon, and it wakes you up, really good. I've been traveling from East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to East Coast, and my body was on a whole different time, and I I had gotten in actually into my bed at 3 a.m. or something, 3 something. So I didn't get much rest. So I missed my class yesterday, my first time ever doing that. So anyway, this psalm today is powerful because it's a testimony. It's a testimony, and it's begins in verse 1 with give ear, meaning, listen. And it's talking to, O shepherd of Israel. So we know Israel, represents a place, but we know that that good soil and that place is within us, right? We are that. So I use I and I. So give ear, O shepherd of I and I, that lead Joseph as a flock. So if you read about Joseph, and I have to myself read about Joseph, I don't know a lot about the scriptures, I'm learning. But for Joseph, I know that his brothers had, sold him off, and, his own family did that to him. So anyway, in verse 1, it's mentioning Joseph and the one that led Joseph as a flock, because Joseph was afflicted, right? And that one that's enthroned upon the cherubim shine forth. So that cherubim is that angel. We know the angel Michael, the angel Gabriel, the angel Raphael. These angels hold up that omnipotent one of the Most High, as according to verse 1 in Psalm 80. You are enthroned upon the cherubim, shine forth. So in verse 2, before Ephraim and Benjamin and Manasseh, stir up your might. So it's stir up that might that is there, right? And come to save us. Come to save us. Come to save us. So that's verse 1 and 2. Now, when we go to verse 3, it kind of explains how this saving is going to be, right? Blessed greetings, everyone. Welcome to Chant A Psalm A Day. Like this video, when you get a moment. But as I was looking at verse 1 and 2, and verse 2 about saving us, then verse 3 is describing how that's going to be. How that's going to be is going to be by restoration. So verse 3, restore I, O righteousness, because ultimately that is what is going to, save you, is your goodness and your mercy to others, your mercy to yourself, your compassion to you, to yourself, your compassion to others, your kindness to yourself, your kindness to others, your, forgiveness of yourself and your forgiveness of others. So we see in verse 3 that that restoration of righteousness is from righteousness, and that face will shine, that righteousness, his face will shine, and that we may be saved. I will be saved. Exclamation mark. So verse 3 stands alone. It stands by itself. And it's restoring. So verse 4 now is calling on the Lord Almighty of hosts. And it's a question: how long is this anger going on the people's, prayers? How long? And it explains what is going on to the people in verse 5 and 6. Verse 5, you have fed them with the bread of tares and given them tares to drink in full measure. You make an object among of them of contention among their neighbors, and the enemies are laughing among themselves. These things are happening to the people. So verse 7 is a refrain of verse 3. Restore I, O righteousness. Let your face shine, that I may be saved. So that is a refrain that's echoed in verse 3 and again in verse 7. So verse 8 is remembering basically what has happened, what this is, who we are. It's, in other words. So verse 8 all the way down to 13 is talking about the human being and that vine that's out of Egypt, that was brought out of Egypt, not into Egypt. It didn't say it was brought into Egypt. It was brought out of Egypt. So that's why I, named, my daughter Cush and not Cairo, because Cairo is in Egypt, and, we were brought out of Egypt. We are part of this vine. Anyway, and that righteousness is what did that, and drove out the nations and planted righteousness. So verse 9, that same righteousness cleared the ground for the righteousness to grow, taking deep root and, filling the land with goodness and abundance of goodness. And verse 10, the mountains even were covered with, shade, the mighty cedars with branches, and all out of that, its branches to the sea, and it shoots to the river. So it's, reaching far, this goodness of abundance. And verse 12, why then have you broken down, these walls, so that all that pass along the way, pluck its fruit? It's a question in verse 12. So verse 13 the animal, the boar from the forest, rages, um, ravages rather, these, fruits from that's being plucked along this path. All that move in the field feed on it. So then in verse 14, we to 18, and then verse 19 is that same refrain, and then it's over the Psalm 80. But Psalm 80, verse 14, turn again, O righteousness of hosts, O God of hosts. Look from this place of goodness and mercy and see, and have regard for this vine, this, people that are this, vine that's been brought out of Egypt. Talking about, the children of Israel. So the verse now, 15, is describing the stock that righteousness planted, and for the son whom righteousness made strong. Verse 16 is speaking of they have burned it with fire, they have cut it down, and they're going to perish at the rebuke of the face of righteousness. Verse 17, let the hands of righteousness be on the man of righteousness, the son of man whom you made strong for yourself. And it says that in verse 15 too, as well. So verse 17 echoes it again. And verse 18, then I shall not turn away, and I shall be given life, because I have called upon the name of righteousness, mercy, love, and kindness. So verse 19, restoring I is coming from that Lord of hosts, that hosts the righteousness, mercy, love, and kindness, all of those attributes. And that face of that will shine because that is what's the saving grace. That's what saves. Selah and Selah again. Amen, amen. That was a psalm today, and I'm going to go and return and get some more tea. Thanks for liking this video. One momento. Gotta go get some more tea. Oh, I think my car insurance is a scam. I think we don't need a check. I'm on live. I just thought about it. You causing great. The Lord, you guys suck. I think this is live. I think this is live. Okay. The Lord, you kind of see this food on the stove, the Lord. No, I'm gonna come and get it. Okay, y'all. Oh my gosh, the Lord. Here we go. Here we go. Let me turn my stuff down on there. But as we I want to get the verse of the day. So our psalm today is 80. Thanks for much for joining and liking this video. Blessed greetings, blessed greetings, blessed greetings, Chawa. Always such pretty flowers. Yes, I got some new ones yesterday. And I'm getting my hot tea that's getting ready here. So Psalm 80, 19 verses we just finished. And we're going to go ahead now and look at our word today. And the word today is blessed greetings, greetings, Lions Time, baby. Welcome to Chant A Psalm A. Thanks for liking this video, by the way. Thanks. I love you all liking the video and being part of this. I wanted to share with you all the word today. The word today. Here we go. And yesterday the word was joy. Today the word is, I believe it's grace. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. So today is the 13th. No, today's the 12th. Is today the 12th? Yep. Yep, because yesterday was the 11th. So today's the 12th. So for the 13th, tomorrow it's a different one. But for today, the word is joy. Yeah. And I kind of read this one yesterday. November 11th was honor. I've been off my time because I went from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the West Coast to the East Coast. So yeah, this is what's happened to me. my time has been off. So I actually read the word today, yesterday, joy. So grace is the word for tomorrow. But my tea is whistling. Hang on one momento. Okay, everyone, here we go. So I read the Psalm today, 80, and the Psalm 80, um, restoration. So restoring yourself, into righteousness. So meaning doing things that are good things, finding different ways that you can be, you know, that you can execute or do good, basically, and that is let me move this over here. That is what it's about. I should go get another tea bag. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Chant A Psalm A Day. Thank you for liking this video. Go ahead and sit tight. I'm going to go get another tea bag. Okay, everyone, I got my tea bag. This is roasted roots. So I call this roasted roots righteousness. Okay. It is a detox. It's a detox tea. It's a dandelion. It's a dandelion spice. It's not even spicy. And it always has little words on it. And this one says, compassion is, and this is what the Most High is. The Most High is, remember, I always talk about the Most High is compassion and la 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 la. And I just opened my tea randomly here, and it says, compassion is the constant act of giving oneself to others. So, with that being said, how are you going to give yourself to others today? So, I put that in there. Let that steep. How are you going to give yourself to others today? That's the question that we are asking. So, in asking that question, there's different ways to answer that. How are you going to give yourself to others today? By first looking at being joyful. Your time, okay? You give your time. So being let's kick off with that. Thank you, Chawa. Giving your time. And we're going to unpack that. When you give your time, are you giving it in a joyful way? According to the word today, joy. And I'll read the word today again because I read it yesterday. But the joy of God is mine today and every day. So when you give your time, are you giving it in a joyful way? Or is it an angry way? Like, you got to do this. It's like something you don't want to do. How is that? How are you giving that time? So that's a question to ask, basically. And then we see compassion on the back of my tea. The other one says, when heat is torching you to give up, call upon your heart's courage to keep going. So in that we have compassion. compassion to keep going and to, wanting to not give up. And finding joy in doing that is going to be hard, especially when you got all kinds of stuff going around you that may not be representing, all the goodness of the Most High. So, hot tea, y'all. This has a squeeze of lemon and some honey. And this is my, this is what I do when I get up. I have my hot tea, and I may have some breakfast leftovers. I found a place yesterday. My son found it, actually. And it's falafel. And it's like a chickpeas. But it's protein. And it's a beans. And they make it with brown rice. And during the latter part of the year, when it's cold, you eat the the long grain brown rice, and that's what they have. They have the long grain brown rice, and it's really delicious. So this is how I start the day, with my hot tea. This is my second cup. Really good. And the word joy. The joy of God is mine today and every day. So sometimes I lose touch with my joy. That could happen, You can lose touch with it. In that space when of losing touch with your joy, you may be tempted to search outside yourself for entertainment or distractions that they bring temporary happiness. Temporary happiness. However, when the novelty fades, you find yourself searching for joy again. So today, you need to realize that true, lasting joy has its source in God, and that's what you put your trust in. That's where your heart goes. So joy that lasts forever, the source of that is God. And giving thanks to that each and every day is where you find that joy, where you're going to find it. So if you're feeling, lost, or you're feeling, in ways that are not benefiting you, people say, find Jesus. You better find something higher. You better find God, Lord, Jesus, whatever. You better find that and know what that is. That and live in that space. So you have to today realize, from this day on, that joy comes forever, and the source of that is the Most High. It's not getting married to someone. It's not, that's, joy that's going to let you, but it's gotta, in order for that to last, in order for a marriage to last, a relationship to last, it has to has its source in God. Blessed rise, Connie. Good morning. Good morning. I'm here having my hot tea. I was just talking about my time is off flying from West Coast to East Coast and East Coast to West Coast. I'm gonna be flying again, and it's just flying. I'm tired. Yeah, I look tired. I am. So anyway, the word is joy. We're gonna keep our joy. Okay. Sometimes we lose touch with it, but we're gonna keep it today. Today, you're gonna realize that true, lasting joy has its source in God. Okay. Oh, that's good. You're drinking your coffee. Hey, I'm glad y'all is having a blessed rise of the day. The day is dawning, as they talk about, and you all are rejoicing in that day. So I'm glad. I'm glad. So you are divine beings. Each of you is a divine being. Each of you is a divine being. Each of you. And as a divine being, the joy of God belongs to you. You're supposed to, don't push it away. Don't push away that joy, because that comes from a higher source. That's higher than yourself. When you get it and feel it, you better hold on to it. Hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Because when you're feeling not joyful, right? Don't turn to things of the world. Instead, turn only to that inside presence. And that's amazing that you did that, Connie. Congratulations. Yep. Beautiful. You deserve it. You deserve to be treated well. You deserve to be taken out and shown respect and love and kindness, with someone. And that's good. That's really good. That's what. So you are in the presence of divine. You are in the presence of God because you are communing together. Okay, good. Send me pictures. You were communing together, and it was a date. And even though it was a date, it was still expression of God, because that's what God is love. You on a date, you weren't fighting each other, you weren't hating each other, calling each other names, being disrespectful. None of that was going on. So that's what we're talking about today, is the operational definition of what God is. How that operates. It operates in a loving way, in a forgiveness, in a mercy, showing mercy to people, being kind. So looking at that presence of that within you, and you tap into that, Connie. You tapped into that presence, that divine presence within you, and allowed God to move you to accept that from someone else, even though there was hurt and pain and all that. You have opened and up yourself in that divine way to accept someone else in there. So that is beautiful. And I send you all of the goodness and mercy that is there for you already. Is nothing I am doing. It is what you have accepted, and accepting yourself as a good person, accepting yourself as a child of, love and kindness, and knowing that you are blessed and highly favored. So when you're in that moment of, communication with God and having that, loving tranquility, you're thinking about that. You're thinking about that, and you find that deep serenity and peace and calmness, and the comforting feeling that all is well with you and the world, and that's what people are supposed to bring to each other. So the worldly happiness gonna fade, you know but that joy of God is your joy. That's forever. That is not gonna fade. And I tell people, they have to be ready to serve righteousness that is God, serve mercy, long suffering, that's Jesus. They have to serve these attributes in order for that joy to be expressed. And in that expression of joy, in God's joy, is your joy for all time to come. God's joy is your joy for all time to come. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you. So we have the word today, joy. And then we have the we have the Psalm today, 80. And then we have the verse today from Colossians. I haven't been in that book for some time, but Colossians chapter 1 verse 9 is talking about, for this reason, from such time the day that we heard, that I and I heard about righteousness, that one, I and I have not stopped communing with that one. I and I will keep on asking that one, righteousness, to fill I and I with the knowledge of that one, that righteousness's will, through all the wise mind and standing firm in that righteousness that righteousness gives. So this verse 9, this verse of the day, verse 9 from chapter 1 in Colossians, ends with gives. You notice it ends with gives. So you have been given this righteousness. It's up to you now, to express it. It's up to you. So we have to keep communing with God, staying with that, and listening to that will of righteousness that is God, to fill each of you out there, all of us, with that knowledge of what the will of righteousness is in our lives. It may be different for you, but what is that will for us? We may want this, we may want that, we may want to go be with someone that they with someone else. We may want these things, but what is the will of God in our lives? What is the will of righteousness in our lives? So we have to keep asking. It says we continually ask. So we have to keep asking every morning when we raise up ourselves. It's in that we are in that blessed rise of awakening. The psalm today is to restore us. The word today is joy. We're keeping that. And then the verse today is keep asking for that righteousness to fill ourselves up with all the knowledge, with the knowledge of righteousness's will in our lives, right? Through that wise mind that is it comes from. And it is expressed in the standing firm in that righteousness that the righteousness gives. It speaks of the Spirit gives. And what is the Spirit? The Spirit is that righteousness, that goodness, that mercy, that love, that compassion, that forgiveness, that joy, that grace. All of that is of the Spirit. So that is where it's going to come from and be given to you. It's been given. So receive it. Thank you, Connie, for receiving that. You receive it. It's going to come. It's yours. When you receive something, it's yours, right? Okay. So there you go. So that is our wrap up for the psalm for today, the word for today. We're finishing early right now. It's 6:00 here. And I had the incorrect time yesterday. On my laptop, it had a different time. So I'm thinking it was one time when it wasn't. And I missed my Monday class. I only have one class on Monday. But anyway, I'm up working on my classes, working on so many different things. I have papers that I want to finish writing. I have reports I need to do, and it's just I want to do it in a fun and joyful way. Okay, so the question was, what are you gonna make joyful that's difficult? It's all this stuff that I'm doing. So we want to not lose touch with joy. Okay, we want to keep that. So that's a wrap for our psalm today. Everyone have a blessed day, and remember to stand in love. Don't fall in it, because you want to find that deep serenity and love, tranquility, um, that is comforting, is a comforting feeling that all is well with you and the world. Okay? So worldly happiness may fade. I always talk about that. But you know what? The joy of God is a joy for all time to come. So stand in that joy, stand in that love, and always walk good. Have a blessed day, everyone, and I'll see you next time for Chant A Psalm A. See you next time. Take good care. We're under an hour today. Have a blessed day, everyone. Mm-hmm. Take good care. Exactly. The love of God is a joy within itself. Yes, I love that. On that note, have a good day, have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time. The love of God is a joy within itself. Take good care.